Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mouse Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
I'm John Carpentier.
I'm Andrew Carpentier. And who do we have here today?
This is my good friend.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
No, it's your show.
This
Please
is
introduce
Joe. This is Joe Fontaine, a dear friend of ours.
Cheers to Joe.
Cheers
everybody.
to Joe.
Cheers to Joe. There we go.
Joe, what are you drinking?
This is an old-fashioned with no ice. There's a reason
That's
for that. I'm not
almost
going to get into it, but
Yes,
there's a reason
please.
there's no ice.
I don't have ice. The ice tray is used
No
for a
ice.
different purpose.
I'm going to say it. I'm not afraid to say it. I'll say it. If you drink whiskey with ice, you don't know how to drink whiskey.
If you drink an old-fashioned without ice, you don't know how to drink an old-fashioned.
So are you saying that you agree with his first comment? If you drink whiskey with ice, you don't know how to drink whiskey.
I would say if you're pouring it on the rocks, I mean, to each their own.
Whiskey Stones.
Whiskey. Okay, shout out. Cheers to Whiskey Stones. Here's the thing. The rocks water down the whiskey, and then what's the point?
So I do agree with you to an extent. The thing is, especially when you're going to be sitting for an hour drinking one drink, you definitely don't mind it just watering it down over time. Otherwise, you get drunk way too fast. By the way,
true.
I suck these down like so fast. I'm going to have to pace myself.
So you're not elegant.
He made a double.
You're not elegant is what you're saying.
No.
You heard it here first.
That's
on
fine.
Mouse
How about
Cheers.
this? If you're drinking an old-fashioned or whiskey and you have ice in it, okay? If you finish that drink and there is no ice, either you are already well too drunk or you should not have ice. That is watering it down. However, most
Okay.
people, there's a good chunk of ice.
I think I'm a fan of whiskey Stones. But to each their own,
To each
as
their
we
own.
said.
I think you guys aren't classy.
Classy. You know, we've, I don't know. Okay, sure, we're not classy. That's fine. I'll take that.
I ooze class.
It was like Joe and I, when we went to Coronado Springs, there was like this like area outside the Pepper Market. Cheers to Pepper Market, by the way.
Oh, wow,
We could
not
talk
have enough-
about that. We could talk a whole...
Nah,
We don't have enough for cheers in every 5 minutes. That's for sure.
I'll pass on that one.
We cheers instead of shout out.
And
Because everybody shouts
everyone
out.
shouts out. No one cheers. We cheers.
Yeah. What's the name of that place? It was almost like a club-looking place. Do you remember that?
The
And, like this
entry-
guy's like shaking, you know, or no, he wasn't. He wasn't a bartender. It was the guy. But we're like not dressed right. We are not looking classy. But we go in there, and we immediately this is not our speed
Nothing
tonight.
sucks more than walking into a place and immediately just knowing,
This
yep,
ain't my
I'm not
speed.
dressed for this.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? Because what is this place? A bar? Well, I've never
I
been to
think it
this
was a
place.
bar. I think it was
You
a
know,
bar.
we weren't dressed for it. That's what we know.
Yeah.
So I assume it was some type. It could have been a club. The way it was very dark.
Yeah, it had a vibe. It had a vibe like, hey, you know, maybe don't go in there with Crocs.
Club in Disney. I'm not trying to say like, you know.
Oh yeah.
We're out here.
I don't know.
What are your thoughts on Abracadabra?
Love it.
Why?
I'll tell you why. It's the best reason for anybody to love Abracadabra. It's because every time we go, John has a story.
That's true.
You will see something and it will be funny and you will get to talk about it later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got a couple of stories. I'm actually John's. I brought him his first time. Cheers to that. How about that?
Absolutely.
You
Cheers.
know. I would say cheers to you, but I'm going to not cheers to you because that place is garbage. And you're telling
no,
me.
he's saying that he brought me to Disney the first time.
Oh,
Well, I suppose.
bad.
Also,
I
it's
never
not
could have.
garbage.
My bad.
Overpriced?
I'll cheers.
Sure. Garbage? No.
so if I walk into Target and have a story every time I'm at a Target, do I love Target?
It's clearly more than Walmart.
He got me.
Hold on. Yeah, but what you're saying, he got you. What you're saying doesn't. That was a bad analogy, Andrew.
I didn't.
I think a
thought it was
place
pretty good.
is part of it is the experiences. It's why you go to your dive bar at home. You know, it's not because it's necessarily a great bar. It's those where your friends are. It's cheers.
Yeah. Oh, it's true. I would argue that it is a great bar, though. You got the pictures that look like pictures, but then they'll like change, or something will have that like change spots. Something will disappear. The wallpaper is like flooded with like Easter eggs about magic, and it's home of the Conjurita. I mean, come on.
I don't think magic impresses me.
Ah, all right. Just the Debbie Downer.
That's
of
okay.
Magic.
You'll see that he's a Debbie Downer on a lot of things.
Oh, I saw your last show.
Oh, he saw it. Oh,
I mean, I'm not trying to. So I know you guys have a topic for each thing.
yeah.
So I'm not trying to get away from your topic.
Please
It sounds like
Go off.
It sounds like you're. Well, what are you trying to say?
You had some things to say about James Cameron and Avatar, and it just seems, what's
he's trying to
right?
keep
There's-
it clean. Though.
It was disappointing.
You tell me what I said that was disappointing, and then I will roast you.
Well,
for
okay.
it.
Well, so number one, you hope that Avatar 2 does horribly.
I do. I think it'll be very funny.
Number one, you're talking about James Cameron, who owns the number one spot at the box office.
And yeah,
Every
right.
time.
And for a while,
Because
the
he
number
was being
two.
a little crybaby about it.
Crybaby or no, whatever his tactic is, it works. Whatever it is he's doing, it has worked time and time again. Now, I would agree
Debatable.
with you that it will not do what the first one did. Number one, it's a sequel, and number two, the movie market today is simply not what it used to be. So I will agree with you, it will not do nearly as well.
That's what I think too.
And this will definitely be his biggest test because it's years after he's had anything really huge. It's a sequel, and the movie market today is not great.
Well, he's been hot on the sequels for years, though.
Right. If anybody's going to succeed at a sequel, again, it's James Cameron.
I am on your page. And not only does Andrew, we're going to team up on you now. Not only does Andrew dislike James Cameron and hope he fails, he doesn't like the ride. Regardless of the theming, he doesn't like Flight of Passage.
See, I do love Flight of Passage, but I understood what your reasons for it. I understood. That I got.
Okay.
Like...
So your problem is me with his films.
Yeah, I'm a movie guy.
I'm a movie guy.
So
and let me
you
tell Oh, you're playing with fire. Oh, you're playing with fire.
I'm going to derail this entire
The whole
conversation.
thing. It's all good.
Okay, so let's start here. Let's start here. Let's save Avatar. Let's save it for the end, the final, the big finale, okay?
Okay.
Name me one other good James Cameron movie.
Come on.
Yeah, hold on, I was gonna name another one.
Don't fall into
but
a
only
trap.
only because no, it's
Okay.
because I saw your last show, Titanic.
Ah.
It's because of how you feel about it that I'm gonna bring it up.
Titanic is a work of garbage, and you're garbage if you like it.
I'm sorry. As a kid, I liked the second tape the most because that's where the action picks up. But gotta say, just rewatched it again
Oh, yeah?
on my own.
Did you throw up afterwards?
Threw up? No.
Nobody gets sick after
Odd.
Titanic. It was a
Every time
weird coincidence.
Every time I watch Titanic, sick after.
So what you're saying is
For
James
days.
Cameron is so good, he makes you feel like you're on that boat and got seasick.
Nope.
Kudos to him.
Seasickness is a very real thing that has to do with dehydration and motion and whatnot. Very real thing.
Dehydration.
Keep going.
Dehydration? For real? I thought it's motion sickness.
And then you get dehydrated,
You get dehydrated from throwing up,
making it
Oh,
even worse.
Okay, sure.
I suppose.
There's no suppose about it.
Well, what I'm saying is technically you're sick at the point before you throw up, so you're not dehydrated yet. I think the dehydration is really an after effect. I'm not a doctor. Yeah, that's being said a lot this past year.
He's like, just dehydration's an after effect.
So,
Trust me, I'm not a doctor.
so first of all, let's start here. The movie's way too long, and I'm someone who enjoys a slow burn kind of movie. Second of all, Jack, a very gross character, unlikable character, and I'm a big Leonardo DiCaprio fan. How about that spitting scene in the movie?
I agree. I didn't care for the
that
spitting
was
scene.
gross.
But I'm sure somebody watched it and was just like, yeah, spit. I don't know.
Every movie, like, you can point
I'm
out
king
a
of the
moment.
world. old.
You could point out a moment in any movie of a 3 hour, 15-minute movie. You get one part that's like, oh, that's a little gross, or that part is like a little cheesy. But I'll tell you, James Cameron writes a script very simply, relatably. He doesn't reinvent the wheel, and money talks. You know, if the box office, it says top 2 movies of the all time, and Andrew, I'm going to listen to the money talks.
The money does talk, and my money stays in my wallet when James Cameron comes out with a new film. That's how my money talks.
You and the 5 other people that don't apparently go to watch this movie.
I fell asleep during Avatar.
I heard. It's disappointing, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter how good a movie is. Somebody's going to hate it. Clearly, this is one of those scenarios where, I mean, don't get me wrong. These days, I understand it's very popular to crap on Avatar because of its simple plot. Although, if you watch James Cameron's interviews, like, well back then, people would be like, oh, people are praising you for the, plot of it. And he's just like, and criticizing. He pointed it out himself, where he's just like, it's a very simple plot, but when you're dealing with all these different things, especially alien worlds, what have you, that simple plot helps just kind of move things into the direction without having to over-explain.
And I think Roger Ebert said in his review, you don't choose the most expensive movie to make to reinvent the wheel. You just don't do it. So I like James Cameron writing style. I understand that his plots can be simple, but that's almost not the point. It's almost not the point.
It makes me physically and mentally ill.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take Avatar 2 over a superhero movie. They're dying right now. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's fatigue on the audience part. Maybe they're just getting full of themselves.
Well, I don't think it's fatigue.
I have a super problem with these superhero movies coming out as well, specifically with the Marvel Universe.
You look like you agree with him. Wait till he's got a weird...
Is this the movie episode?
It may be.
This is going to be a segue into my show.
Yeah.
Specifically with the Marvel Universe, I think it ended at Endgame.
I don't disagree.
There we go.
Guys.
I think everything after Endgame didn't need to happen. Yeah, I enjoyed some things. I enjoyed WandaVision. I didn't even really enjoy Doctor Strange. But I'm talking it didn't need to happen. And why does everything need to be a universe nowadays?
Well, hold on. Everybody's copying Marvel because they've been successful. So everybody wants a universe. And universe, money talks. Universe sells.
John's got one thing. He says money talks, and he thinks it's great.
Listen, but am I wrong?
It's what the studios care about. We, as the audience, we want good stories. Okay, money doesn't matter. Yeah. The movie matters. You can be mad at other companies for wanting to build universes. Marvel Cinematic Universe is the first the monster universe way back, but Marvel Cinematic Universe is the first real universe. You can't hate on them. They're the first. And they're going. First and really only good one. Others have tried, but no one's really kicked anything.
I'm not hating. I'm a Marvel fan. I just think it should have enjoy the ride, and that's what Jerry Seinfeld did with his sitcom Seinfeld. At the height of its popularity, he canceled because he didn't want to get to the point where people weren't interested anymore.
And that's what Tarantino's going to do.
That's what Tarantino's
IT Crowd. And if you haven't seen the show, it ends after only a few seasons, and you're like, God, I could watch more of this. And they're like, we know you could, but we don't want to get full of ourselves.
Right. Let me just say, with Harry Potter, you love Harry Potter. You're reading the first book. You're reading the Sorcerer's Stone or the Philosopher's Stone, whatever it's called. You are reading it. That's great. Oh, a character arc, story arc. Okay, it ended. Very nice. That book is done.
You know what?
The Infinity Saga is done. We are moving on. With some of the characters' arcs are done, but like you got the Hulk, you got Thor, you got like Hawkeye was still continuing. You got Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, all these characters that are not done. Some are done. The Infinity Saga is done.
So I hear what you're saying, and I really wasn't trying to get into movies, but we're getting into it. Look, so the Infinity Saga, yes, it's done, and technically you could say this is the next chapter as far as Marvel films. I'm even willing to say that My Marvel heroes, they're bringing in a lot of the new folks from the newer age comics, and they're not my folks. Like I don't know some of the newer ones. I've been trying them out. They're not my thing, so I'm willing to even say that, you know what? It's somebody else's Marvel at this point. You know, it's the younger generation with the newer heroes. Maybe I enjoy what I see, but I'm not going to obviously go in there with that fandom that I have for, like, Spider-Man, which nailed it out of the park, just saying.
And it's still going. He's have another trilogy coming.
Oh, my God.
What is
know?
the massive tie-in in this Phase 4? It's all over the place, and I don't think they've handled the multiverse well at all.
They haven't, and the movies are doing progressively worse.
I disagree.
You think they've handled the multiverse well?
No. I disagree. Okay, so there's 3 areas going on. We got the cosmic, which they haven't really gone into yet. You got the Marvels coming out, and you got Guardians 3 coming out. You got the cosmic. Thor, Love and Thunder is just out as of this recording today in theaters. Then you got the grounded, where you have Ant-Man, and you have Hawkeye, and you have Black Widow, and then you have the multiverse. So it's really branching out into
and you're
3.
naming a whole bunch of underwhelming things.
But I
Thank
don't.
you,
But
Joe.
Spider-Man.
Joe,
Spider-Man is grounded.
I agree.
This is,
and if Sony wasn't the main folks behind that, like, don't get me wrong, I know it's Disney, but it's not core Disney. So I'm looking at, okay, what has core Disney put out? Now, I'm a big fan of Thor. I definitely want to see this one. I've been hearing it's too funny, and it doesn't take the seriousness. Now, that was my complaint about Ragnarok, so I'm hoping that's not the case, but I like Thor. I'm going to watch.
We can reserve judgment.
Joe, you're really knocking it out of the park right now. I wasn't
because I'm agreeing with you.
I wasn't
expecting this from you. And you know what? Cheers to you, my good sir.
Cheers.
Cheers to you, my good sir.
But see, we disagree on one thing, we agree on another. That's how motion in the ocean.
It's the motion in the ocean.
Let me say this too, John. Nobody gives.
I'm so
What?
Emotion in the ocean. I am saying some things today, and it's just driving away. Why did I say that?
Yeah, that's the magic of it, though.
Hey,
what do you say in it? What?
Nobody cares about your book.
Analogy.
Nobody cares about it. And let me give it
for better or worse.
Please, John. What, are you on your second glass of whiskey?
For better or no.
Oh, then you're not drunk. So you know the difference between when I'm speaking and when you're speaking. So, let's forget about the analogy that is complete garbage for a moment. I will even say this. As a new viewer to the Marvel Universe that wants to get in it, I hate that they're already 500 hours behind. Just with Iron Man to Endgame.
That's lazy. That's a lazy insult.
I would go on John's defense on this one. I think one of the things that they've done, again, not necessarily great, is they're kicking things off so that you don't necessarily have to have kind of been a part of that big chapter. Obviously, there are plenty of things that it would be good if you knew. But they also don't delve into a lot of those things. And again, also on the other side of the fence, to their detriment, the snap, post-comeback era, you could make movies on these people's, PTSD alone.
Yeah, true. And you were saying that, like, some of the things I was mentioning are underwhelming. I would like to point. It's so easy to say, hey, Phase 4 is failing. Phase 4 is underwhelming. Let me point to. So Black Widow comes out.
Yeah.
Hold on. Black Widow was years too late. We all feel that it was a Phase 2 movie, or maybe
switch it out with Miss Marvel, the Captain Marvel.
I didn't care for Captain Marvel.
I didn't care for it either, and maybe it needed more time.
Switch it out, right?
Had you swapped it, you would have had more time to work on that movie.
I agree with that, actually.
Captain Marvel didn't do anything in Endgame anyway.
That's not true. That is not true.
She did some stuff, but rather than introduce another character, do the Black Widow movie. She's already established. Then have the Hulk do what Captain Marvel was doing.
Yep.
As far as blowing, especially after he learns Black Widow's dead. Right. Everybody wanted World Breaker Hulk.
Yes.
Everybody.
And I think we'll get it one day. I think we're going to get a World War Hulk movie and stuff. But that was the perfect opportunity to do that.
where he gets so mad it's not even a good thing. Like it's
Right,
a
right.
bad thing,
It's
and you
it's
might
a
as well
problem.
point him at that ship and
Yeah.
just let him start tearing the crap out of everything.
Right. I like what you're saying, but we talk about Black Widow. Okay. While I like Black Widow, it was a fine movie. A lot of people really upset with Taskmaster in that, and I understand that. But Shang-Chi, which came right after, may be my favorite solitary hero movie in the MCU.
I didn't see it, but I'll pass.
Shang-Chi is excellent. Top tier.
Could have been excellent.
Top tier.
Please enlighten us.
What's wrong with Shang-Chi
I
at all?
enjoyed. I liked. To be honest, a lot of the Marvel movies today, I like to a degree. I just don't love them. Like I don't have that passion for them. But I like Marvel and I like kung fu movies. You want to bring me, Iron Fist, Daredevil, Shang-Chi. I'm in it. You make a whole universe on that alone.
Yeah.
Just these guys going around kicking ass.
And maybe it'll happen.
Hey, maybe.
Yeah.
In this case, I would have liked a lot more physical. Like the first half of that movie, if you really watching it, it's just like ooh, and then all of a sudden it just got a little ridiculous, and the plot just didn't grasp me. I liked the father-son dynamic. It's not something we have seen too much.
10 Rings are cool.
Yeah,
And the return of the fake Mandarin, Ben Kingsley.
they're clearly trying to fix their
Yeah,
Mandarin
right,
issue.
right.
Once again, we have a secret organization. Like again, there's certain things that they did. They wasted that henchman where you were just like, "Ooh, this guy's gonna come into play later." Nope. I'm sorry. Spoiler warning.
Oh yeah, spoiler.
After
Maybe
the fact.
so.
Not a spoiler. You shouldn't be watching.
But we
past
can
Endgame anyway.
say that Black Widow, a fine movie, yes, or bad. You didn't watch it. It's better than you. My opinion. I enjoyed
Good
it
for
more than I
you,
thought I
Joe.
would.
I will eventually watch it. I just haven't.
No, you don't need to. It's okay.
I think also the Eternals, which came right after Shang-Chi, is haters attacked it, and I think that reviewers were really after blood and wanted the first rotten score on a Marvel movie.
He's calling
that should have
you
been.
all a hater.
It's not perfect. Should have been in the 70s on Rotten Tomatoes, but they
I don't
tanked
know
it
about
to
that.
40s.
Reviewers technically, number one, no one wants to go after, especially with how Eternals were marketed as super inclusive. Bringing in all these things that Disney kind of wants to push a little bit. So I would say that reviewers were like, okay, hey, I really need to kind of come into this open-minded. At least I would think. I don't want to speak for anybody.
Fair enough.
But I mean, I haven't seen that one either. I plan on watching it because I heard they try and do something different. I'm all about it.
And I honestly enjoyed it. And I'm not just a fanboy. I'm a fanboy of Marvel. I am. But I don't think it's because I'm a fanboy that I liked it. I think I legitimately liked it.
I'll tell you. I'll you whether or
please,
not you're
please.
just a fanboy.
Yeah.
I think you're a fanboy. So, can I also just ask, not you, John, because I don't care.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Joe.
Okay.
What are your 5 favorite Marvel films?
Ooh, are you ready for this? This is off the cuff.
This is off the cuff.
But you
Five
know-
favorite?
It can change.
I
So
mean, it
off
can
the
change.
cuff.
This
Do you
is-
know how many times I've come back from a movie? This is what I fear as far as when I come out with my show, where I should let something simmer before I review it, because I'll just be like, this was great, and then later on it was like,
You'll look at the episode, you'll be like, yeah, this
Was it
wasn't so
though?
great. Yeah.
So as far as Marvel, we're talking Disney Marvel, or we're talking going back any Marvel movie?
Do you have a favorite
I say-
way back Marvel movie?
I do.
Well, yeah. But also, like, if you're talking Sam Raimi Spider-Man, those are MCU adjacent now. They're part of the MCU multiverse.
Agreed, and I suppose I could slip in from there with a little bit, but that's why I'm being very specific.
We're gonna say
MCU?
Iron Man to Endgame.
Okay, Iron Man to Endgame.
Well, Iron Man to Thor: Love and Thunder.
No,
Well, hey, if one of them
he
is your
might
top
have a
5.
favorite.
he's gonna say Shang-Chi.
No, I might, maybe.
It's going to be in his top 5, sure. But if that's what he likes, it should be in there. It should be in there.
Your list, your rules.
My list, my rules. Iron Man to Endgame.
Joe.
Okay. Well, Iron Man number 1.
Really?
I wouldn't say it's number 1, but it's definitely on there. Because I'd say, for the number 1 spot, You know, I'm not going to put an order in it because that'll just mess me up. So
Just-
Iron
yeah.
Man's
Well, how about-
on there.
yeah.
We're gonna say no order.
Yeah, Iron Man's on there. Ragnarok's on there.
Okay.
Spider-Man No Way Home.
Okay.
For reasons that I won't say because spoilers and
and that's all. That's after Endgame, by the way. That is Phase 4A material.
Yes, that by far is the best thing that's come out after Endgame.
Okay.
I won't disagree with you on that. Well, WandaVision was good. No,
WandaVision was good right up until the end where they just decided to say screw it and throw it all against the wall.
The ending was a little wonky for me too. I will say I'd watch WandaVision before I watch Spider-Man again, though.
Oh no, I would definitely watch. Freaking,
Would
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, please continue.
Okay,
Sorry.
so
That's my bad.
said Iron Man, Ragnarok, Spider-Man. For the second two spots, the rest of them suck. No, I'm joking. So does well with
you
that
trying? Are we going non-Avengers movies here? Because
No.
okay.
technically Iron Man's in a Avengers movie.
Well,
Because
yeah.
here's the thing,
Well,
I've
I
been
mean,
trying to work
like
around
the
for the
title
best for last
Avengers,
for me.
yeah.
Because for me, what I think is still probably my top Marvel movie, if not one of my just favorite movies, is Captain America 2.
Time out.
okay.
What on earth are you talking about? Did you just say Iron Man was an Avenger movie?
Yeah.
Well, Iron Man is an Avenger, but I'm talking movies titled Avengers, like the Avengers quadrilogy.
I
Oh.
thought you were saying as far as related to.
Oh. There was a
Clearly, I misunderstood.
A misunderstanding, but he's like, time out. What the hell are you talking about?
I suppose that's true, though. I haven't even been thinking about the Avengers movies.
So
Yeah.
let me just give you my list because it's super
Hold
quick.
on, I didn't get to number 5.
He's like
And
literally
I'm
on
going to put
number
one
3.
of the Avengers on, but here's what's tough.
I should have gone first.
The first Avengers movie, it's the first time that collab came together.
It was a special thing.
It has a thing. On the other hand, Infinity War, dear God.
Yeah, that was a thing too.
So you know what? Never mind. I'm not going to give my answer. Go.
Ready?
Yeah.
All 4 Avenger movies.
Okay.
Captain America. Done.
Which one?
First Avenger.
Saying the first one.
Okay. None of your opinions matter from now on.
Yes. That's how.
Okay,
I wanted
I'm not
to
saying
go.
it was bad. I'm not saying it was bad, but you're gonna put that over at the second one.
Oh yeah. I didn't see the second one. Don't need to.
Infinity War,
Don't need to.
Endgame, Shang-Chi, Guardians 2. Do you have your fifth yet? I gotta think.
You must have what? Say them again. Quicker. The audience doesn't want to hear it slowly.
Infinity War, Endgame, Shang-Chi, Guardians 2.
So you chose 2 comedies and 2 serious movies. I see.
Yeah, you betcha. I'll go Doctor Strange.
Okay.
I
Well,
really
I
like
thought
Doctor
Ragnarok would
Strange.
be on there for you, to be honest.
It wasn't. And like a lot of people like
I think a lot was wrong with Ragnarok.
I mean, for me, there were plenty of things right. They clearly were, hopping off of Guardians. But at the same time, it also fit Thor. Don't get me wrong, they went, in my opinion, a little too comical. They got rid of some of the seriousness.
That was my problem. They went too comical. Yeah.
It's a shame that the second one didn't do so well, for good reason. But it's a shame that it didn't do so well because there were definitely some things to like in there, and I was looking forward to the Thor fantasy aspect.
Yeah.
And they've basically figured we need to move away from that.
For sure.
Which stinks, but it
For
is
sure.
what it is.
Well, I need a fifth from you though.
I'm gonna say Infinity War.
I thought so.
I really want to say the first. It's tough. I should trade out one of the other ones just to put.
Trade out Iron Man 1.
Yeah, what an odd choice.
See, Iron Man 1 for me, though, is just like, that's where I didn't read the Iron Man comics, but I was very familiar with, Tony Stark. And when I saw Robert Downey Jr., it was one of those moments where it was just like perfect casting.
Yeah.
A lot of people say as far as, Cumberbatch, Doctor Strange, they've been doing some really great casting. But for me, when Robert Downey Jr. came out there as Tony Stark, I was like, this is amazing. And
Yeah.
like, so it's about the experience.
Yeah.
And that's why Avengers, the only reason Avengers might be Infinity War for me is, again, the experience. I definitely, Infinity War is the better movie.
I agree. Okay.
So you would watch Infinity War over Endgame too?
Yes.
I think it's a better movie. What about
Endgame
you?
was great.
Well, that's the final battle of Endgame is probably the best battle ever put to screen, ever.
I mean, the amount of, I can't even imagine how long they were working on that
I know.
final sequence.
It's wild. It's wild. I was so invested.
Oh, they had you.
You want to tell that story?
My heart.
They didn't even need to do a trailer.
No.
No, they didn't.
Matter of fact, Super Bowl. So
Oh yeah.
John's telling me, it's coming to the Super Bowl, and we were debating how long we knew there was going to be a trailer, and we were just like, how long is it going to be? And I think you were like, it's going to be like, 30 seconds.
Yes, I said 30 seconds, and you said, there's gonna be a full length trailer.
Yeah, I'm literally telling him like, it's the Super Bowl, it's Disney. Disney's not going to cheap out. Pay attention to that. But in any case, so I'm like, no, it's definitely going to be a minute, if not more. So I'm betting him it's twice as long, and I bet you
A Halloween ticket.
Yes.
A Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween ticket, because we were going to Disney that fall.
Ooh,
Yep.
That's a pretty penny right there.
I paid up as soon after. I was just like, hey, I owe you, and
Yeah, he paid up as soon as he found that it was a 30-second commercial.
it was devastating. It was like, all I had to do was not bet.
Yeah.
But I owned up to it.
It'd be easier to not bet than to bet.
Gambling's wrong.
No, I think I stand by anytime I make a bet, regardless if I know I'm going to be wrong or not. I stand
Well,
by
as
it.
you should.
Stand by it.
You should always stand by your bets.
And you know what? You stood by.
I did.
So kudos to you.
Cheers to me.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm picking up on the genre here.
Yeah,
Cheers,
he's
boys.
got it.
Yes.
So if you're not interested in Marvel going forward, are you not going to see any movies, or are you just going to see what comes interesting to you? Like I think you're more out of it than Joe.
I could easily not watch another Marvel movie. Easily.
So like when the next Spider-Man trilogy comes, you're good. You don't need to watch it.
A pass.
Why did you watch Doctor Strange 2?
That's a handsome looking question. And the reason being was because I was surfing Disney Plus and I thought it was only in theaters, so it caught me by surprise. And that surprise made me go, well, I got 2 hours to spare.
I can watch this.
Even though I don't want... That was a bad answer. How about you, though?
I mean, so I do like Marvel movies. Marvel movies I like. So if they come out with something, the only thing is we're also running out of the ones where my fandom will outweigh, what you're showing me.
Right.
So there's certain trailers. The reason I haven't seen Eternals, you didn't show me anything that I really wanted to see, and I have no fandom to bring to the table.
Okay.
Thor, I've seen some things that worry me. My fandom will bring me to the table because I like Thor, and they know that. And Thor is willing, but he's also one of the last ones aside from Spider-Man. And what they did at the end of Spider-Man,
Yeah.
I will see. You'd have to show me a trailer that basically told me not to go see it at this point, because
Right.
you got down, to brass tacks, if you will.
They set
Again,
up
I'm
real
trying
nice.
so hard not
Yeah.
to talk about.
They set it up real nice. I am not lost on it. I don't agree. I agree that the multiverse stuff is a bit of a mess. I'm one who loved Loki.
Oh, that was a villain that they used way too much.
It's not that they used him way too much. They turned him into a joke. And especially in that series. That series, I liked the episode with multiple Lokis because I kind of sort of got my Loki. But here it's just like, okay, we're bringing him back. All right, sure. We're bringing him back from the moment he was in Avengers. All right, so he's a villain. And we solved that in a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
What they really needed is like, hey, we need the Loki that we killed off. How do we get him back? Well, he could just watch the movie and get up to date on everything. Oh, okay.
It's like, he's caught up. All right, now let's just reveal our main villain. It's a girl. And they were doing that for a while. Every time they were revealing their female, it's a girl. And it's just like, you don't need to, let's just go right into
let's just, yeah.
Good female villains and heroes will stand out. All you got to do is write them.
On their own. You don't have to, you don't. Agreed.
I mean, Wonder Woman. That's DC. We're not going to get into that. I'm just saying.
Well,
you know.
I haven't even seen.
And we can talk again DC, but there's a lot in the Superman universe that I can really get into, but we won't. But I hear you, and I have to say,
but we won't.
We could, but we won't. I have to say, so far, other than your James Cameron nonsense, I'm enjoying you here on the podcast.
Well, thank you.
At the beginning there, I was like, maybe we should stop.
Do you think that James Cameron would ever direct an MCU movie?
No. Oh, God. Imagine that.
I would, and it would
care.
be epic, and it would just break box office records. But nonetheless...
Every movie that comes out breaks a box office record. You're always...
Not Lightyear.
Hey.
I said it.
He said it.
I said it.
Oh,
that's another thing. You know what?
I haven't. Let's
jump
on
this
they finally
bandwagon.
May have made their original budget back. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Worldwide?
Yeah, but you talk budget. You talk budget on what it costs to make the movie, but then on top of that,
the marketing,
the advertisement is millions.
Did you support Toy Story 4?
No. They ended it so well with 3. Don't get me wrong. Did I like? There were things in 4 that were great, and especially as far as flexing the every time I feel like a Disney animated movie comes out, they're just like, look what we can do with hair now. Yeah, and every time I'm just like, oh my God, okay, this is perfection. And each time I'm like, what was I thinking before? Because clearly they've gotten better at it.
Yeah.
So as far as things, if Toy Story was a series, Toy Story 4 would have been a nice emotional episode in a series. But as far as the movies go, you had it at 3. It's complete.
I agree. Can I ask you a question though, real quick? If the movie was called Woody, would you think of it differently?
Maybe, but also because it takes place after. Again, when you start introducing things, you have to also think about what it means for a whole. It's kind of like Marvel when it comes to the multiverse.
Yeah.
You're introducing and you're going so wide, especially when you're dealing with the multiverse. You're getting into basically the concept of, Rick and Morty, where nothing matters. And so you got to be real delicate with how you handle it. And in this case, handling it after you've given that goodbye, you just want to be careful.
John.
What?
Do you honestly believe if Toy Story 4 was called Woody, that people who dislike Toy Story 4 would like it a little better?
Sometimes a name makes a difference.
A name makes a difference because...
That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. How can you say that?
No, because you got Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3. If a movie called Woody comes out, no...
Because Buzz Lightyear did so good, am I right?
Well, different. But if a movie called Woody came out, the argument that, they had it at the trilogy would no longer hold water because, that is the trilogy. This is now focusing on a single character out of that trilogy.
I can even go past that. Let the characters be. Start making some original content.
I mean, especially in this day and age, they do need to... I think one of the detriments, especially when it comes to when you're doing some of these reboots, and some of these reboots are from stuff that's not even that long ago, and I'm just like, there are some crap movies. There are a lot of crap movies. For every good movie, there are so many movies you've probably never even heard of.
Yeah.
You want to remake a movie that wasn't good, or bring in something new. Right now I'm all about the murder mysteries. Matter of fact, Disney wants to give me a Pixar murder mystery. I'm sure it can only get so dark. I'm just saying, I'm enjoying the detective stories. Detective, probably, give me the new great... I'm not saying a reboot of The Great Mouse Detective. I'm saying, an animated feature.
Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad, ended pretty dark.
I mean, Disney's not going to go back to certain I mean, I think we can all say, this.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. To say.
Well, okay, just while we're talking about it, that's my favorite ending of a Sleepy Hollow story. Is like, oh, people don't know where he is. Some people say that he moved in with this person, and it's like a mystery. So we saw the Headless Horseman, we saw that chase, and it was just like, now it's like, oh,
or can you imagine them doing the Black Cauldron, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things I'm not expecting to see.
I would absolutely love, honestly. And it kind of hurts that, okay, there's 3 cinematic moments that make me hurt still, just to think about. One is Sleepy Hollow, the movie that came out, Tim Burton movie that came out. It was there, but then the ending just disappointed me to death. It was like being controlled by somebody, and then it shared too much. Give me that mystery of the Disney movie. I needed that ending. I would love for them to make a live action of that. I would love it. 2, Spider-Man 3. It hurts. And I got a similar feeling with Doctor Strange 2.
I'm going to let you continue, but
yeah.
You speaking about the only movie you've ever fell asleep with, Spider-Man 3 was the only movie I've gone to the theater
really?
and fallen asleep.
Spider-Man 3?
In its defense, I went to a midnight showing, but I've gone to plenty before, and I've never fallen asleep.
And that must have been so disappointing for you.
It had its problems, but it wasn't fall asleep bad.
Maybe it's because it was so late, but also they ruined... I'm a huge Venom fan, and there was some things they did with Venom right, and I didn't even mind Topher Grace, as far as being that bizarro Peter. He's not Eddie Brock.
Yeah.
Any fan will say he's not Eddie Brock. Matter of fact, I will say, as far as casting Venom today, while I do not care for that's not Venom, but as far as Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock, yeah, I mean, that's great.
He's a solid actor.
Yeah.
So,
and it's Tom Hardy. Yeah, exactly.
But the end. Okay,
I'm sorry.
So are you excited for Venom in the future?
I haven't watched any of the
MCU?
Venom movies.
No. I'm sorry. Not Venom. In the MCU, Tom Holland new trilogy. Are you excited to see the MCU's version of Venom?
If the way they ended it, which again I'm trying so hard to dance around. Okay, I'll say this: Spider-Man is finally Spider-Man. The reasons that is, when you think about it, are sad, but it's true. But nonetheless, now that he's finally Spider-Man, if they continue to be true to Spider-Man, all well and good. If they start kind of leaning, because I like Tom Holland, but those movies, while I enjoyed them, if you were to ask me what's your favorite Spider-Man movie, they would have come in last. Or almost last, maybe
really?
with the exception of Spider-Man 3. But they would have been pretty down there, simply for the sake of they didn't feel super Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
At this point, if they were to make a new movie, I'd be like, "This is Spider-Man. Here we go."
Yeah.
I'm in it. So I would be looking forward to it. But just don't do Venom like Sony did. Man, Sony, I tell you,
they did it twice to him.
You hate to hear it. You hate
do.
to hear it, and I hate to see it because it's
and literally, Doctor Strange is one of my top 5 favorite Marvel movies. Doctor Strange 2, not to that extent, but it was in the ballpark.
Raiminess.
Yeah, but it was in the ballpark of Spider-Man 3 disappointment.
Really?
Whereas I enjoyed the movie. It wasn't that. It wasn't Spider-Man 3, but it reminded me of the feeling because it promised so much. Even the end of WandaVision were like, and I knew it. Like, Wanda's going to be the villain of Doctor Strange 2. And it promised so much, and it was a 2-hour movie. It felt fast. It felt like it was on fast forward almost.
Because they talked you through,
yeah. And there wasn't too much multiverse. It was a missed opportunity.
It was.
Cameos were rough.
Not to mention, you know what? Let's just say spoiler warning.
Oh, yeah, spoiler warning.
But you've got Wanda, who, by the way, I didn't think they were going to do the villain, simply for the sake of the way they ended off in WandaVision. It was just like, they'll never know what you did. I think they will remember what she did. I really do think they're going to remember. And it kind of left off like, oh, hey, everything's fine now. So I'm loving the fact that they went to the villain. There's a gap, but whatever.
Yeah.
But then mishandling that at the point of once they realize Wanda's the Vision. Wanda's the Vision. Wanda's the villain.
Where are you at?
Where was Vision? No.
Okay.
But once they realize that she's the villain, like Doctor Strange delivers a line, no match for her, and then they're pretty much on the run at that point. Wanda versus Doctor Strange might have been the most I'm trying to keep it clean.
It's fine.
Batshit is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Because it would have been the most epic of battles.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying Doctor Strange would have won. I'm sure there's comic debate, what have you. But even if you're going to say she's going to beat him, fine, awesome. But there could have been such an epic battle to where he loses. And it's like, I can't take her.
Right.
And then they're on the run. And it's just like, why? Where was that? Like, rather than have all the wizards, which really lame reasons getting into that. But in any case, just have it this epic. It would have been so mind-blowing. Yeah. People might have just lost their crap. Epilepsy.
Yeah.
And that's the point of any great movie.
Right. Just to really kill your audience.
Yeah.
And it's just like, flashing lights, multi-dimension. But like you said, the multiverse barely used it. Yeah. And used it in such a cheesy, not every sense. There were some cool aspects, but just did not utilize it, did not tie it into what's going on with Loki.
Yeah.
What are the rules?
Apparently there are no rules.
They explained it a little in Endgame where if you time travel and you change another, like in the past, it branches off. It becomes another dimension, another multiverse.
But where's the TVA come in? Shouldn't they be blasting that? If somebody like Chavez exists, shouldn't the TVA be all over that?
Yeah, but the TVA is kind of I don't know the
exactly. The break in Loki exists at the center, to which no time means anything.
Yeah.
Because sure, you could have said it happened after the fact, but technically after is the same as before where they were. But in that case, what the hell's the point of the story? Like,
I'm not denying Multiverse is a mess, and Multiverse of Madness disappointed. I enjoyed it, disappointed. Loki, I liked the show. Excited for season 2. I think Kang the Conqueror is going to be a big bad. I don't know if it's going to be.
I thought he was going to be the Avengers big bad.
I think he's going to be the bad guy in Ant-Man Quantumania, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
If I even go to see it.
Amen to that. Cheers to that. Let me say this. They did announce that they're gonna say the next Thanos level threat in the upcoming months. What is bigger than Thanos? He wiped out half of the whole universe.
Bro, I got some. I got some.
And by the way,
please enlighten me, because I don't know.
The fact that you don't know hints that you didn't watch Loki.
Please enlighten me.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Thanos more than Kang.
Oh yeah.
What's his deal?
So with him, because so many different versions of himself can cross dimensions, even if you were to beat him, he would end up coming back stronger because he's basically got an infinite number of himself, and he's obviously a very intelligent, super genius. And I believe he ends up developing some armor. I'm not going to talk like I've seen him in the comics. I know the costume. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm a normie as far as the comics go.
As Thanos was a threat to the universe, Kang is a threat to every universe in the multiverse.
Oh my God, who cares?
But hold on. If you want to talk about like my bad guys, okay, bad guys that I would be like, oh hey, this is if you're going to go post Thanos, it's going to be Galactus. And
I agree.
What's his deal?
He eats worlds. He goes around eating worlds. Matter of fact, here's how you introduce him. You have your biggest bad in the MCU, whether it's Thor, Captain Marvel, whoever you got, and like they see a disturbance, they go out there and just have their butt handed to them by the Silver Surfer, and then you find out that that's Galactus's bitch. That's not even the big bad. That's his lesser, and like that's who's this? They kind of did him in the Fantastic Four sequel. That's back with...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Was Now, here's the thing. The first Fantastic Four, cheesy as hell. Cheesy as hell.
Yeah,
Still enjoyed it.
I saw
enjoyed
it.
the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Second one.
Chris Evans.
How do you make it worse? How do you, like... The Silver Surfer might have been the best part. Like, I liked the guy doing the Silver Surfer as he was on screen for very few moments, but I thought he was cool. But in any case, Disney buys Fox. Disney buys the Fantastic Four. It's all included. You got Galactus now.
What did you think
right.
of...
Don't say it.
What do you think of Reed Richards?
I knew he was going to ask it.
Yeah.
What'd you think? Oh, Fantastic Four, yeah. What'd you think? Yeah, go... keep it clean. Whereas in Spider-Man No Way Home actually wrote in any cameos and involved them in the plot and wrote it right, they just did a, look at this scene.
And MCU is usually above that. I'm disappointed.
It was
disappointing.
a shame. Plus, what do you do with Reed Richards after what they did? How do you get introduced to that character? Even if it's a different actor, how do you get introduced and be like... well, he ain't nothing. Like,
yeah, true.
And I'm like, they're making that movie. They've announced it.
Yeah.
So you turned it into a joke. And like, I don't know if they plan on utilizing that as a segue in an interesting way. And maybe somebody's thinking well beyond me. But like for me,
they could retcon it. They could be like, oh, he was a Skrull. That's why he wasn't the smartest.
See, that would be
man.
a super interesting movie. This, as far as the Skrulls.
Oh yeah, like I think. Yeah, I just don't know what their plan is with that because they can go crazy with that.
Nobody knows what their plan is.
I
I don't think they know what their plan is.
Maybe not.
They're scattered.
You know what Marvel's done? And this is since the beginning. This is pre-Endgame and post.
Yeah.
They have a habit, and don't get me wrong, this has worked out because sometimes they've course-corrected, but they have a habit of ending a movie and just being like, hey, here's this cliffhanger. And then when they realize that they can't go in that direction, it's ignored. One of the biggest being like Thor 2, Loki's on the throne. It's like, oh my God, no one knows that Loki, and it's just like, what's going to happen here? Ended in the first 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, because the next director or they're like, Thor 2 wasn't successful, so we need to go another direction. Let's just ignore let's solve it all in 5 minutes and do
that
our
happens
own thing.
So often.
Well, like for Iron Man 3, he like destroys all his suits, and then here he is, Age of Ultron, in some brand new suits, Hulkbuster and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, he should have started with the liquid metal suits at that point. He's like, I destroyed the hardware.
Right.
The old crap.
Yeah, there was just no. Come to think of it, was there a explanation as to why Thor made it to Earth? After in Avengers after Thor 1, because the bridge was destroyed at the end of Thor. And then all of a sudden he's on Earth.
Actually, I think they did explain how he got there, and they explained that I think the bridge was being repaired. I could be making this up, but I feel like that's a thing.
Okay.
But you're not wrong. There's a bunch of things that are, just kind of left on the wayside, and it's just like, oh, guess that went nowhere. Doctor Strange. We leave off on his villain, and it's just like, oh my God, what's he going to be up to? And I'm sorry, I forget his name, Mordo?
Dormammu?
No, not Dormammu. The other
Mordo sounds right.
I apologize for the fans of. I don't know his name, but the point is, so it ends off where he's like he's gonna kill all sorcerers,
right?
And it's just like, and then his version isn't even seen again. We see another dimension him,
right?
Again, spoilers. Man, we might as well have just said spoiler. Put a spoiler warning in the beginning.
The very beginning of the episode.
John Krasinski was Reed Richards.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that. Well, it's all over the place. It's all over the place.
I liked them playing to the fandom there, and that is nice. But at the same time, have you done a detriment to the Fantastic Four movie that you plan on making? I don't know. They make the big bucks, but
I make the big bucks.
Some plenty bad writers make way more money than me.
Oh yeah,
so.
And that's the problem is, that's their job. You have one job. Do it well, please. And when you do it well and please the fans, you will make money. So I think a lot of decisions they make are driven by money driven by what they think is hot, and in some cases, certain domain names will get money just because they are what they are. A Spider-Man movie will make money, but Morbius is in the Spider-Man universe, and that
I
didn't
heard
do
that
good.
tanked. I haven't seen it. Have you seen it?
No.
Do you think I've seen it?
Look, we can't crap on it if none of us have seen it. We heard it was bad.
This
I'm
is
talking
this is
box
exactly
office.
what I do.
I'm
here.
talking box office alone.
That's what I do.
I'm just saying you can't always rely on the name. Like, oh, this is Spider-Verse.
But that's
so
all they do right now.
That's all they do right now, but it doesn't always, like Morbius did not do well at the box office.
I wouldn't say Morbius is one of the better known
True,
ones.
yeah, fair
but
enough.
Again, huge opportunity.
Lightyear.
The Blade lead-in.
Lightyear.
That is
Lightyear was
name.
a Pixar safe movie.
It was a safe movie.
That might change things. Pixar. Let's talk about.
sure.
Let's talk Pixar for a second.
Yeah.
So, and we discussed this, before. So Pixar will, they want to do their more interesting movies, their Inside Outs,
Yeah.
and they will kind of offset that with their safe movies. Make sure that they get that guaranteed box office cash so that they can do the more interesting stuff.
Agreed.
This was a safe movie.
Yeah.
And it did not do well. Does that change the game?
I think now I haven't seen Lightyear, so that's the problem. But
We're just talking about
I've heard
its earnings.
It's earnings, but I think what they need to do is they need to remember what made Buzz Lightyear a fan favorite and really play. And it's literally what I just said. It's like, know your audience and why they love what they love. And if you're just trying to do your own thing instead of focusing on the past and what made the character a fan favorite, you're doing a disservice to the people, and then they don't want to see it. I could be wrong. And that might not be the only problem.
Oh, I was just wondering what he thought as far as if you're going to be doing a character like Buzz Lightyear, what do you think makes it work versus what apparently is not working?
Nothing, because you should have stopped at Toy Story 3.
This is not Toy Story, though.
Listen.
You know what I mean. Please,
But
you know what I mean.
Andrew, regardless of your opinion on Toy Story, why do you think Lightyear has failed, even though it was a safe movie?
Okay, here's this. I think it got a lot of hate for a few reasons. Not even talking about the whole Toy Story thing. A lot of people wonder, in a world where Tim Allen's still alive, why he wasn't the voice again. A lot of people wondered that right out of the gate before they even gave the trailer a chance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
a lot of people wondered that. And then it comes into play. Like, okay, I'll give this to Pixar. It's a good idea to say this is the movie that the toy was based off. This was Andy's favorite movie that the toy was based off. That's a good idea. But that can only take you so far, because I don't care. Okay? Because I don't care.
He started with really good insight.
When it comes down to it, I don't care.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's how people think. They don't. Okay. And here's another thing. I think we're pandering to the children today with trying to get the nostalgia from children from yesterday.
Pandering to children is, it's a Pixar movie.
But hold on, I would even argue that it's pandering to the adults.
Yeah, I would say they're using the nostalgia to pander to the adults.
And that's what I'm saying, because they're using that nostalgia to pander to the adults, it's affecting what they're trying to do with their work for the kids today.
True. Here's the thing: that's been going on for a long time. Like they want the thing that draws you, and you're the person paying for your kid. I don't know if you have children.
I don't.
But let's say you did. I don't have children either. I think this is the only dad among the group.
I have a child.
Okay, but your child's older. They're going to put out. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be cartwheeling blue jelly bean people. I am making just really. The point is, they want to see it. But will you pay to see it? Okay, so how do we get Dad to pay the ticket? That's where we get nostalgia. Okay, the kid doesn't know if it's if it's old or new. Maybe you raised him on it, maybe you didn't.
You know what I would do if I was a dad and I saw Lightyear come out? I wouldn't say, "Hey, let's go see Lightyear." I'd say, "Hey, let me show you Toy Story from when I was a kid."
I mean, that's what I would say too. I mean, I suppose.
Yeah, but then your child likes it, and then like, oh, I want to see Lightyear, and then would you take them?
That's when you discipline your child.
I mean, I like the idea that they tried to do an in-universe movie. I think it was wrong to do. This is the movie that inspired Toy Story, especially with how long ago Toy Story came out. And it's like this just... and I'm sure some people really went in depth as far as the technology and da-da-da-da-da. But it just doesn't seem right. And in my opinion, since we do it in real life, and since the Toy Story movie inspired this movie, why not just say the toy line inspired a movie after the toy line? And it's a movie that takes place in the future. And if you really... This might cross the genre that they were looking for, but at the end of the movie, then post-credits, you just got the Toy Story characters watching the damn movie, Tim Allen included, and like maybe that just appeases...
Tim Allen?
Yeah. I'm not saying that would get butts in seats, because obviously that would be
like
a secret.
Tim Allen as Buzz, not
as
like Tim
actual
Allen
Buzz.
with the toys.
Right. And so the actual Buzz,
I know.
voiced by Tim Allen, watching the movie.
Yeah.
Because obviously, in the movie universe, they would want somebody young and hip.
Yes, but you know what I wish they did? And I heard that it's like, this is the movie that Andy saw that made him want a Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, and it should be reversed.
It should be, well, I even think that it should be, hey, this is the actual story. This toy is based on a person. And this is like their story.
The true story.
Because when you're watching Lightyear now, it's like, okay, none of this matters. It's a movie that Andy is watching.
I did think the original teaser, I thought it was
the actual story.
Yeah. But of course I was wondering, I'm like, oh, okay, so wait, what kind of tech is this? And so like you're asking the questions, and obviously we got the full trailer and we're like, oh, okay, so this is not that old story.
Right.
And if you're going to do a movie where it did take place pre-Toy Story, you gotta make that movie old school. Like and I don't know if the youngsters today want to watch that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The jokes wouldn't necessarily land because the jokes would be based off of the time. I don't know.
But they kind of already they did that with Buzz Lightyear of Star Command way back.
Now, see, that was a show Andy would have watched, and then
that's what I'm saying.
Toy.
And if that show was based on this historical figure that actually went to space, they made a cartoon on him, and then kids wanted toys.
You wanted that.
I think there's reason that Lightyear is failing.
Actually, hold on. I think I know. You wanted a mix. You wanted the nostalgia that was put in the Safe movie, but to be done in that outside of the box movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I'll watch Lightyear, but I'm waiting for Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
And that's not usually the way I am with Pixar.
This might be my last year with Disney Plus.
What?
We'll see what they. It has not been.
You can always re-up if you.
And that's the thing. As far as new stuff, and again, I'm judging on new stuff. And keep in mind, this is because it's Disney. A lot of things that we complain about with Disney. Think about it. If it was a fan film, would it be bad? You'd be like, "Hey, good job, buddy."
Yeah. No. True.
It's expectations.
And that's why I was asking about the whole if it was called Woody, would
Exactly. It changed.
That was the most
things.
ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
I mean, to his point, if a movie comes out in the theater versus now, I know streaming has blended the game a little bit, but it used to be if it came out in the movie theaters, your expectation was here. Came out straight to TV, a TV. Not saying there can't be bad TV movies. There's plenty.
Right, but yeah.
But your expectations you're willing to forgive a lot more. And the same thing with fan films. You can watch a really bad fan film. You see that fan film and you're like, man, these guys really loved this. Man, they really put their heart into it.
Yeah.
Now, the same people are putting their heart into it on these big movies. But we know that there's a bigger person signing the checks that are looking for that payback.
True.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Off the cuff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna finish my thought from earlier.
No.
3.
Call back. No.
Before anybody watches this and gets really pissed off.
I
Go
forgot
back to it.
For that one fan.
Yeah.
Who's just like, is he gonna get
Is he gonna?
I forgot you were talking at all.
Yeah. 3, and then we could move on to back to what we were talking about. Pocahontas. So when they put that song in, If I Never Knew You, they cut that song out, and it removed a lot of the heart from the movie. And I really enjoy Pocahontas, but I think that the fact that they cut that out still hurts to think about. When the DVD release, there was an option to play it with that song in it, because they went back and animated it, because they realized, and even the guys, they're like, hindsight was 2020 and we should have kept it in. I would always make that an option, but when the Blu-ray came out, it wasn't an option anymore, and it really bothers me. So those are the 3 things in cinema that bother me. It's Sleepy Hollow, Spider-Man 3.
Keep you up at night.
It just, when I think about it, it still bothers me. So I'm not really over it. And then Pocahontas. But I did want to say to what you were saying about expectation, if Cars 2 was made by a lesser studio, we'd all think that's a pretty good movie.
I loved Cars 2.
Of course, that's the movie he loves. Are you kidding me?
That's amazing.
What is your deal right now? What's your problem with Cars?
Cars 2 is a great episode of Cars the series, to where it just goes away from the type of movie. Talk about a genre flip.
That's the second time you've pulled that on this podcast.
Yes.
And you know what? I'm sick of it. That's as old as John saying, this is the next book of the Avengers.
It's
you
not.
know?
And
it's
it
not.
is.
I'm sick of
There's
both of
TV.
you right
if
now.
you take a concept and you spread it out into a TV episode, you've got filler episodes. Episodes that are just, And that's what Cars 2 was. It was like, wow, nothing in here makes sense.
What?
Well, looking forward to next week's episode.
But also, Pixar was on the... Pixar... Wait, were you looking forward to Cars 3?
When I heard there was a Cars 3, I'm like... Cars 2 was not... Cars 2 was fun. Cars 2 was fun. I still repeat, nobody eat the pistachio ice cream. I love it.
Roger Ebert said it best when he said he felt like he was just a kid playing with his toys again while he was watching it. Not every Pixar movie needs to make you cry. Not every Pixar movie needs to be this incredible up or inside out
or even
quality.
Be good. No, I get you. I agree.
I can't.
Let me say though.
I can't believe it.
Let me say though that opening is one of my top Pixar openings.
It's
For
not
Cars 2?
Oh, Cars 2.
Oh, Cars 2 is a beautiful movie.
So what's the worst Pixar movie? Say Cars 2. I dare you. Because then I'll top you.
It might be.
I'll top you one. I'll top you one.
It might be close. Worst Pixar movie. I have not. I apologize.
Oh, what
you
has
guys
he
are
seen?
super, real into. I'm obviously a huge Disney guy myself, but I don't mean to make fun here. I have not finished The Good Dinosaur.
Oh,
I fell asleep.
Yeah.
It was late.
it's always.
It wasn't at the theater. It didn't.
Okay.
It was I was on my couch.
It wasn't the midnight premiere.
It was midnight.
It was
and
the
I don't
midnight
know,
premiere of Good Dinosaur.
Spider-Man 3 wasn't that
It was
great.
late.
I fell
It
asleep.
was late. It was a couple of drinks in. There was a pillow by my side. There was plenty of reason to fall asleep. So I don't want to blame the movie. Spider-Man, there's a lot of blame on the movie.
Yeah.
But like with this, I fell asleep halfway through. It was boring the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But I didn't finish it. So I do need to. I keep forgetting that movie exists.
Okay, so Good Dinosaur. Off the cuff, top 5 Pixar.
Top 5?
Hold up.
Oh,
Well,
Time
we
out.
did it with
he did
Marvel.
ask a question.
Hold up.
Oh, hold up.
Worst
Christmas.
Pixar movie, guaranteed. Sign my name on that dotted line.
He's going to say some...
Onward.
What?
I disagree.
I love Onward.
If I was playing roulette right now, I don't know.
I
What
disagree.
the hell does that mean?
I mean,
hell
if
does
you were to
that-
be like, oh, Onward's a safe movie, I would agree, at least this day and age.
I was trying to go somewhere, but I lost my train of thought.
No, the Dungeons and Dragons, like hopping on that geek crowd right now, all about it. Dungeons and Dragons player myself.
Yeah.
The spoiler warning's up.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning. Gelatinous cube. That scene. Gold called it as it was about to happen. Loved it.
I love the adventure in that movie, and I love the heart in that movie.
Yeah.
That's top tier for me, man.
Look, I'm not saying, again, Pixar has some, like, think about it and really, let that soak in movies. They've got those. I'm not saying this is one of those, but it's a good movie.
Well, I remember Onward and Soul were announced. I was more excited for Soul, but I liked Onward better.
I liked Onward better. I liked Soul. I thought it was going to be a little different.
I also thought it was going to be different. However, I like Soul more than Onward.
I mean, I can understand that.
The fact that they gave him another chance at the end is like...
I thought it was
took
going to be
away.
It
took away from the wait. The sacrifice was wonderful, and like, wow, he's in the afterlife now. Oh no, they gave him another chance at life. Took away from the wait. I love how the only movie we're not spoiling is Spider-Man No Way Home.
I might as well just start saying it.
I know.
Because that's sacred.
Yeah, it's sacred.
Spider-Man's my favorite hero.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
If I was Spider-Man,
Yes.
would you tell people?
No.
No, thank you.
That'll get somebody killed.
Yeah.
John,
I mean, not in the
that might get you
MCU. In the
killed.
MCU, we can walk around and just talk about it and whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Well, you go, but I want to go Pixar off the cuff in a minute here.
do you think?
Top 5 Pixar off the cuff for all of us.
Inside Out's my favorite, guaranteed. Up, Toy Story 3, Monsters Inc., and this the last one. The last one's a tough one.
We could wait. You could get back to you.
And Break.
Okay.
Wait, did you say Cars 2?
No, you didn't say Cars 2.
I thought you freaking loved that movie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's not the worst one.
What about you?
It's probably the second worst one.
Toy Story.
That's just like the Iron Man thing, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing.
There's a pattern.
It's not just that. I can pretty much watch that
You
movie
legit
anytime.
love it.
It is
Hold
getting
on.
to the point.
Time out. Toy Story 4 is the worst Pixar movie. I'm sorry. Onward is not the worst Pixar movie. Toy Story 4 is.
Nah, I'm going to put Cars 2 underneath Toy Story 4.
You guys.
I like Toy Story 4.
No, for me,
I'm sorry, Onward.
Toy
You're
Story
not
is
that
getting
bad.
to the point where it's like,
Team
okay.
4? Terrible.
Like the graphical difference, because Disney's been flexing hard these days. It would be nice, almost. You know how they reskin games? It'd be nice for them to reskin Toy Story. Same dialogue, just
True.
That'd be nice. But in any case,
So Toy
for me,
Story.
Toy Story is just it's my jam. I can sit down to anytime.
I feel
that
ya.
said, Toy Story 3 would also be on the list because it is one of my favorite sequels.
It's a great sequel.
It's a great, and it's a trillion. Like there's so many categories. There could be an episode. You guys could do an episode on Toy Story 3.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, definitely those two. Maybe it's because it was recently seen, but it's just it keeps bubbling up to the top. It's Luca,
Dude.
and it might
Really
be
good movie.
Yeah, maybe it's because it I didn't have a huge expectation. Came out straight to Disney Plus. Turned that on. I ended up watching it almost immediately right away again.
It's the sixth worst.
Okay, well, just a hateful person.
Yeah.
Hates Italians.
Shout out to cheers to Italians, though.
Whatever. Nobody cheers for anybody.
Because it felt wrong. It felt like you weren't
don't love
meaning it.
spaghetti?
I'm a good portion Italian. I love spaghetti.
We are all part Italian. We are all part Italian.
Go on.
I just don't feel like you actually meant it.
Which one, the spaghetti thing or the other thing?
No, I think we were all joking about the spaghetti thing.
It's the Italian thing.
Or do you think that all Italians love spaghetti?
Do they not?
I don't think that's the thing.
Spaghetti is not, far and away, not my favorite pasta, for sure.
Yeah. I I feel like that's number one American Italian. Just the association as far as spaghetti and meatballs, New York Italian. I'm sorry, deviated.
Yeah, I'll go fettuccine though. Well, we're talking Luca. They eat some fettuccine in there. So.
Moana.
Moana, unfortunately, I hate to do this to you. It's just straight Disney.
Oh, you're right. That is not Pixar.
Yeah,
I apologize.
yeah,
They started blending the damn lines.
Yeah. It's all good. Well, when the animation becomes computer, it's really tough sometimes.
Can I just say, I wish the Princess and the Frog did better because I feel like they were trying to bring back 2D animation.
I know. I wish they could just do it sometimes and then do computer.
Even if it was once in a while.
It's in my top 5 favorite. I loved Princess and the Frog.
It highly underrated.
Yeah,
highly underrated.
Like it could have been better, but like it was great.
I agree.
Loved it.
Yeah, I love that movie. Like I could easily watch that movie. I only found out recently that Allison liked that movie, like a good amount where it's just like, she'd be singing the songs, and I'm like, all right,
let's watch it.
Yeah, I feel like not enough people, and I'm just like, why did this underperform? I don't know. Like, I thought the sales pitch was great as far as bringing back 2D animation.
Yeah,
I don't know, but that was one of the last ones, right? What was the last 2D animated?
Well,
or was that the farm one?
No. Home on the Range, no. But no. Princess and the Frog came out. It was supposed to be a return to form, and then after that, it was Tangled came out. After Tangled,
yeah, but Tangled wasn't 2D.
Right. I'm saying Tangled was back to computer animation.
Okay.
After Tangled, Winnie the Pooh came out.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh was 2D, and that was the last one.
How was that?
It was charming.
It was hilarious.
I didn't see it, and I love Winnie the Pooh.
It's charming, and it's short. It's like an hour. It's an hour.
So it is the happiest movie I've ever seen, whereas the problem in the movie is not a problem.
I mean, no problem really is as far as Winnie the Pooh. That's
right. That's the charm.
Yeah, that's the charm.
Yeah.
Tigger movie, that put some feels in. And surprisingly, considering Tigger, of all characters, was the main character at that point.
Yeah, I saw that one in theaters, and I don't remember too much of it.
It's worth rewatching.
Yeah.
Tigger movie's really solid.
Winnie the Pooh, I'm a fan. It's
you can't go wrong.
It's a good
Matter
world
of fact,
to be
that live
in.
action.
Oh
solid.
Yeah, Christopher Robin was good.
And how many of that can you say for the Disney live action?
We could get into that.
That's another podcast.
It's another podcast.
That.
But, we'll mark it. I'll be there for that one.
Yeah, please. And by the way, this is like an overview, but we can go into specifics later on. There's no rules. But you got Toy Story. You got Luca.
Toy Story 3, Luca.
Toy Story 3, Luca.
Moana.
But Moana doesn't count.
You done messed up again. You learned, and then you unlearned.
It's strike 2.
I had a double. What'd you have? Couple licks.
Couple sips.
Incredibles.
Okay.
For sure.
The bottle's way over there.
And I had to watch that one on repeat, and it did not get old. There was a child.
It's a great movie.
So it's one of those ones constantly on. Moana was another one, but it doesn't count. But anyways, if I can watch something without, 17 times in a row without like hanging myself.
Yeah. That's good.
Hold on, I wasn't listening. What did you just say?
He said Incredibles, and then he talked about it for a while.
Yes, I went on and on because it's incredible.
All right.
Final Pixar movie.
And break.
Yeah, I might
go back.
He's got to go back. I got to go back.
Well, when I say my 5, and I don't know if I have 5, I should have been thinking about it this whole time, but I wasn't. When I say my 5, I think that I might spark something in you. I'm not sure about you. Toy Story 3, for sure. I think WALL-E is there. Up is not there for me. I might have to go Luca with you.
Oh, my God.
When you come up. No, that was a really great movie. Cheers, good sir. Ooh, that cherry's looking nice and
nothing like a
cherry soaked in whiskey for your entire drink, particularly a double. Nothing tastes better after the drink.
Unreal. So I'm at 3. Ratatouille. Did I shift you?
You know what? No, you didn't.
Okay.
You shifted me more with WALL-E.
Okay.
And now my head is going like WALL-E, Brave.
Two very different
Two very different.
You know,
I don't think Inside Out is on my 5. It was when I first saw it, but that
What?
was one that you have to let sit. And you know what? I'll go Onward.
oh my,
Is that out of spite or is that real?
that's out of spite. There's no way that's real. Look at his face right now. Look at his face right now.
Look, you name me a better Dungeons and Dragons movie than Onward.
What? When did this come into conversation? We're talking about the best Pixar movies, not the best Dungeons and Dragons movie. What on earth is that? Look at his face. He doesn't even believe it. John,
I don't
change
believe that Onward is
It
one
was
of your.
it was out of spite.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it was out of spite.
My heart is racing.
It was out of spite. I will go. I'll go and break. So now we each owe a 5th.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay, so let's start with you.
I mean, technically it starts
we have
with
to
you.
start
You were
with
the
you.
First one.
I just wanted you to do yours.
This is a shit
Ah,
show.
damn it! I thought of my. I know what it is, and no one's gonna like the answer.
What is it?
Listen up, people. It's my turn.
Yeah, you go ahead, because ain't no one gonna like my answer.
I have to think about it.
No, Joe, you go. This is crazy. Now he's chewing on a cherry, so I'll
But
go.
nothing's better than a
I can still
maraschino
talk.
cherry.
Okay.
Oh.
Maraschino cherry.
Hey, how was
in-
that
in
cherry?
whiskey.
How was it? Nothing, nothing better, right?
Dude, I got plenty. Okay,
There we
next
go.
time I'm
You-
down,
You know what? Hold on.
we'll make some old fashions. Toss the cherry in there.
We can talk while he pours.
I mean, he's got to get ready for another episode. If like, what are you gonna do? Sip on that for another hour? How long are these episodes?
We're over now.
We're running down to the end of this one, but we need these 5s.
Okay. We were talking about Cars 2 and 3 for so long.
Oh,
Guys, it's Cars.
it's Cars.
It's Cars.
I respect it.
The most underrated, in my opinion, Pixar movie.
I respect
Do
it.
you want to know why you're garbage? Would you like to know why you're garbage?
I want to hear this from the person who loved Cars 2. Go ahead.
How dare you? The absolute gall you have to say Cars is in your top 5 favorite and then say Cars 2 is the worst Pixar movie.
Almost the worst.
He didn't quite say the worst. I think he said Good Dinosaur.
Well, actually, Good Dinosaur I can't judge because I haven't seen it.
Okay.
I am going by, as far as the movie, the concept of the movie, as far as the plot and everything, and did I enjoy it? As far as those two things, is it the worst? In my opinion, the one that I would watch the least right now is probably Turning Red.
Oh, I liked that.
It wasn't bad.
Okay,
I'm not trying to
okay.
say it's a bad movie.
I
I'm
didn't
just
see it.
Oh, watch it. It's
watched it and
Pass.
I really liked the mother coming. Should I? Is this spoiler? Wait, you haven't seen it, right?
This is a.
It's okay.
You know what?
You can go.
Will.
When
Will-
mom gets pissed,
Yeah.
I liked when mom came around.
Yeah.
You know, the corner.
Yeah.
I was just like, maybe it's because I root for a little bit more for the parents now
Yeah,
as an
fair
adult.
enough,
But
fair
like, I was just like, oh damn, there was some great things, and I think people should definitely check it out because
Yeah.
it might be your jam. It did not hit me. For me, I would watch just about any other Pixar movie before that one. Again.
Okay. Understood. I suppose I'm gonna go Monsters Inc. for my 5th because I think that's so creative. It's very good. I'm going Monsters Inc. So you went Cars. I went Monsters Inc.
All right. I wasn't thinking during my time to think. But you know what? Off the cuff, I'm going to go...
You're looking at me like it's going to be out of spite.
I'm going to go Brave.
All right.
Okay.
It's your Pixar princess right there.
The only Pixar
If you
princess,
had-
right?
If you had a chance to change your fate, Joe, would you?
You gotta try the accent if you do that.
Yeah.
Change your fate.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I brought this downstairs, and I didn't know if it would come into play naturally. This is Finding Dory.
I didn't freaking think about
Finding
Nemo.
It was sitting right here the whole time.
I didn't even think about. I forgot about the movie.
So
oh my god, that changes.
Does that change things?
It doesn't.
I don't know.
Doesn't change.
Well,
a
no,
damn
not
thing.
Finding Dory.
Doesn't.
No,
change
not
it.
Finding Dory.
Finding Nemo.
Doesn't.
Which
change
again
anything.
enjoyable. Just
Yeah.
wasn't Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo. Yeah, that was a real good one. Ooh, that would probably be above Cars.
So, okay, so possibly Finding Nemo.
Look, it's Pixar. If you watch a Pixar movie, it's not gonna suck.
Yeah.
It might suck compared to other Pixar. It's in a class of its own.
Yeah.
So I think we can all say that Pixar movies are pretty solid.
Joe.
Is anybody watching this channel and doesn't like Pixar?
I just
Probably
remembered why you brought the book. Please tell us why.
Joe, to finish this episode, you have to read this out loud.
Oh, Jesus.
No, it's 5 pages
because
long.
I'm the guest?
No, it's 5 pages long. And when you read it, I would like you to read it and then show the picture to the camera.
All right.
Okay?
Okay.
This is the finale.
It's fantastic.
All right. Finding Dory. Hello, friend. Cover. What a happy, spunky face. Hello there, calls Bailey, a whale beluga. By the way, I've been chosen to do this because I can't read well.
That's okay.
2 sea lions say, good to see you. You finding this real funny. 2 sea lions say, good to see you.
That's the next page. There's 2 of them. That's 2 pages.
It's a 5-page
It's not an accident.
I thought it was going to go on for a 3rd page.
No.
Do you need a hand? Asks Septipus Hank. The Septipus. I'm sorry, I missed the.
The rest.
Oh wow, I have had a little bit, huh?
A little bit. The rest doesn't even matter. We'll finish the book, but the rest doesn't
That
even matter. No, there's
No,
one
no.
more page.
There's one more page. Nemo and Marlin are smiling. They know Dory makes friends wherever she goes. This made the most sense
Darn
of
right.
the whole book. And why? He's not wrong.
There's 2.
So
I thought I was just gonna go with it. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, clearly I didn't flip the page, but I started reading, and we just have, is this a misprint?
It's gotta be.
there's no way that's not an error, unless they think the children are that unintelligent.
Did they not understand? Tell them again.
This isn't like a local author, is it?
No. I don't know.
Who's the author?
Who gave you that?
Written by Stephen King.
Copyright 2016 Disney Pixar.
Come on.
Well, Disney,
now.
you're dropping the ball.
Come on
again.
now.
Bendin Books. Yeah, I had to have you read that because I couldn't believe my eyes. Because this is like a hard,
Actually, you know what? I'm dropping Finding Nemo. I'm dropping Cars. Best Pixar right there.
Because of the book?
I'll never
or-
forget this.
Unforgettable.
That's a flat out lie. I'm never gonna think about that again.
What a fantastic finale, gentlemen.
I'm out.
He's out.
I'll cheers you.
Cheers.
Cheers. I'm out.
I am not. Take it easy.